Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Ade Ayo Bet Predict. So in today's video, we'll be talking about basketball live betting strategy. It means the in-play tactics for success in predicting basketball games. Actually, one of the things that many people don't know is that live betting happens to be one of the easiest game to predict on compared to that of the pre-match, because of the advantage that it has. In this video, we'll be making use of a particular game as an example. Actually, that's the only game that they are currently playing under the basketball sport aspect right now, and we are going to make use of that as our example in this particular video. So this particular game is currently on, and they are currently at their first half of the games because they are already done with their first half, which is 25 points for the home and 32 points for the away. But before we move on, I would like to explain what we mean by live betting strategy. Live betting strategy is also known as in-play betting or in-running betting strategy. It's a form of sports betting where you place bet on outcome of a sporting event while in progress. Currently this particular game is in progress compared to that of probably if the game was yet to start, because currently now they are done with their first half, and I think with the current data that we are having, it will be easy for us to predict the outcome of the game. Initially when you want to predict your basketball, sometimes many people that have been playing basketball very well, we understand that basketball games sometimes they are inconsistent with it, because after using the safest strategy on their pre-match game, the outcome that people are expecting, even if the bookmakers are not providing the market, there are some teams that eventually they can still play below that point. Or when you predict under total points in basketball, we can have it some teams that you won't expect them to play even anything close or near to that particular point that you predict them as under, but unfortunately they can still extra go exceeding that particular point that you predicted them on. But the live betting platform gives you the opportunity to navigate around the probability of the outcome of the game. The first thing that you can do if you want to predict your live games, if you want to play live games on basketball, is to always play it when it comes to total. Maybe probably you want to predict the total point of the game. I will always advise you guys to predict it. I will always advise you guys to predict it after the first half of the game. Predict it after the first half of the game, and because with that you are going to get insight of the half and probably the remaining half of the game, because in basketball we have four quarters. The first and second quarter comprises of the first half, and the third and fourth quarter is their second half of the game. So currently they are done with the first and second. They are done with the first and second quarter, and the total point they are having currently is 57. And the first thing that you need to do if you want to predict over in basketball is that the total point in the first quarter is what you are going to multiply by 2. For example, if we multiply 57 by 2, surely we'll be having 114, if I'm right. 114. And the only problem where you can have the problem is the bookmaker aspect. And using this particular live game strategy, you can also use it to predict who to win the game, because at the first quarter you are going to get insight of who to win the game, because currently the way I'm seeing this game, we are expecting the away team to win this particular game. Now, before you draw your conclusion on who to win a game or who are the total points that we should be expecting in a particular game, don't forget I told you guys that the markets or the odds that the bookmakers will provide for the live odd is the only problem that you can have in predicting live games or anything that changes. I told you guys that we have the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Within these two quarter, anything can change, and that thing can also affect live games. The only aspect that I know that live games can also help again is the aspect of football, but we are going to that one in another day video. Now let us check the stats, because one of the most important thing that you need to look into whenever you want to predict the live games is, after checking the current situation of the game, you move on to check the head to head, that is their previous meeting, their history. Probably this is a natural analysis that you are going to do even before the game starts, their head to head, their previous games. Now let us check their previous games and let's see how they've been playing. I knew that. Let us okay wait. For people that want to predict basketball uh straight winning, if you check this odd very well, this is the initial odd that the bookmakers provided, and they provided 1.62 for the away team to win the game. And in the current situation now, the away team is currently winning the game. Okay, no problem. But if you check the head-to-head, you can see that the away team are not really in form compared to that of the home team. But let us also check their previous meeting, the games that they've been playing together for a while. And I'm saying this for people that are predicting straight winning. But for the over point, I'm going to discuss that immediately when I'm done with the straight winning prediction of live games. Now, currently the away team are the teams that the bookmakers are currently supporting. And let us check, to be sincere, they are not really informed compared to that of the home team. And checking their last 5 games, the away team lost in their last games. Yeah, they won here. Okay, they won here. They won here again. They won here and they won here. Okay, they happens to be the favorite team to win this particular game, but the aspect of their form is where the problem is. For some people that are into pre-match game prediction, normal, we are almost all of us are into pre-match game prediction, but unfortunately we'll be confused like, are we going to predict this particular team that has been winning and they lost in their last game with these their opponents, and currently their form is not really that looking good, because if we check the last point they had with the last team, okay, the last team they actually played the was is this current team that they are playing with right now. So the last point they had is 42. The last point they had before that one also is 64. So they've not really been having a good point, except the match they won here and the match they won here. So that's where they are. That's the only aspect that they had a very good and high point in the last previous games with other teams. Now they are going to start this particular game very soon. That is their second half. We have to quickly make our decision. So this is the purpose of live betting. I didn't mean that I want to predict this particular game as who to win this particular match before the match starts. Guys, trust me, I would rather prefer to avoid this particular game and go for other or for other matches. Now, these live games give us an opportunity of, okay, we already know person that should probably win this particular game. We're having 25 points and 32 points. In basketball, actually the home team can also take over or overtake, but currently as I'm saying this particular game, the away team is the favorite team to win this particular match. Now, that is the aspect of live game, because we've checked the last previous meeting and we've seen the team that happens to win this particular game, even in pre-match game. But the only confusion aspect is their form, and the live game will speak for the form for itself. When a team is not really in form and they are playing and they are performing so well towards the success of their winning. So there's nothing about that again. The only thing you're only concerned about is to know who to win, like to have their record of their previous meeting and know who to win the game. Now let us move on to the aspect of predicting the total point. Don't forget, I said that if you want to predict total points using the live betting like the live betting data. Currently, we're having 57 played at the first quarter of the game, and by multiplying it by 2, you are getting 114. If I want to predict this particular game, I would rather go for 110, 111, 112, 113, and that's all. If I want to predict the over for the full time. But the only aspect that you can be having the problem is the market. The bookmaker may not, like, the bookmaker may decide not to provide the markets for you, and that's the only problem that can occur in this particular aspect. So just multiply it by 2, and if you want to confirm your, if you want to confirm your multiplication and your prediction, that okay, if I multiply 114 by 2 and if I multiply 57 by 2 and I got 114, and I want to predict this particular game as 100, maybe 113, 112, 110, is it actually proper for me to go on and predict it as 114 or 113, 112? Now let's check. This is the aspect that you need to check. They are head to head, and what you just need to do is very simple. Get their total points that the home team had while playing at home in their last 5 games. Is a strategy that you naturally use for the pre-match games, but the only problem that you can have there is that the inconsistency of some basketball teams that can affect your prediction. Now for live games, trust me guys, this is really amazing, and I told you guys you should not be having a problem with live games, but except the bookmakers that will provide the market. because they too they are not willing to lose their money to us. So that's how it is. Now for the home team, I don't know how to pronounce their name, but sorry. So we have, out of the last 5 games, they had just 2 games played at home. And if you want to predict over for the live game of this particular of this particular match, if you want to predict over among these 2 points that we have here, you have to go for the smallest point, which is 74, because we are having 74 and 84. So you just have to pick the smallest among these two, and that will be what we are going to be keeping. Now let us move on to the away team. For the away team, the games that the away team has played while at away, we have 97 and we have 86. So if we are predicting over, but for now let us assume that we want to predict over 114 for these particular games. Now we have 97 and 86, right? Now let us pick the smallest point between these two, 97 and 86. We are picking 86 now. We have 86 and 74. 74 for the home team and 86 for the away team. Now let us move on to the next game. The next aspect, that is their head to head, the last 5 games that they've been playing together, and that is this the last aspect of the strategy. Now let us check the last 5 games and why the home team was playing home and why the away team was playing away is what we are going to look into. So we only have 2 games that match their current position and their current state. So we are going to pick the smallest point that the home team had and the smallest point that the away team had. For the home team, they had 64 here, and they had the same point here, which is 64 again, while playing at home. But for the away team, they had 85 here, and they had 76 here while playing away. But the smallest is what we are going to pick. We are picking 64 for the home team, and we are picking 76 for the away team. Now, don't forget we already have 2 points already. So let us add we have 4 points now already. Now let us add everything together, guys. So these are the 4 points that I we've gotten from this data that we analyzed earlier. Don't forget the 64 point was for the smallest point that the home team had in their last previous games with each other, and the 76 was for the away team point that they had in the last previous games together, and 74 was for the home team point, the smallest point that the home team had while playing at home with other teams, and 86 was the smallest point that the away team had while playing with other teams. By adding everything together, you are getting 300. So this 300 is what we are going to divide by 3, because we got all these particular points from 3 segments of our data: the last 5 games played by the home team, and the last 5 games played by the away team with other teams, and the last 5 games that these two teams had together. So we've gotten 300 right now. So we are going to divide it by 3. So fortunately we are able to get 100. Naturally, if you want to predict this particular game before the match starts, I will naturally advise you guys to go for predicting it as over 95. But naturally, I've never seen any bet platform that provide markets for that. Like giving markets for over 95 is not possible. So that's the problem when it comes to pre-match. And currently, in the live games, the another problem that can occur here is that in their first half, don't forget, I told you guys that after analyzing their first segment, that is over 114, and currently by multiplying their first half total points, they've already been playing 57, and adding 57 with 57, we are getting 114. So this game part naturally supposed to go beyond. Like, I didn't mean that they didn't reach that particular point. Coulda it will be very easy to go straight and say, okay, this particular game, so they are going to exceed. So naturally now, I will advise you guys to go for under. Now let us check if you want to predict the under games, because they've exceeded the predicted point of over. Because currently now they can even play under 114 right now, because they have fulfilled their prediction of playing over 100 already at the first half. That is, they've given it the insight that they are going to play over 100, because the bookmakers too, they will not provide the market again. Now let's see if we can predict under, because they've already started the second half and we have to make it fast, because live betting prediction require quick thinking and quick decision making. Now let's just quickly go for under. So don't forget, we check the last 5 games for the home team, the last 5 games for the away team, and their last previous meeting. So we have to be quick with it. Now we have Okay, we have the games that the home team played at home. So the biggest among these two is 84. That is for predicting under. So for the away team, we have to be quick. In the last games that they've played away, the biggest point is 97. So we have 84 and 97. Let's quickly make a quick decision. 84. That is for predicting under in live games. 84 plus 97. So we have 181. And let's go for the last previous meeting. The games that they've played at home and they've played away. So currently, these two games. Now we are picking the biggest point that the home team had, which is for home team here, they had 64 and 64, almost the same thing. So we are picking 64. And for the away team, while playing at home with this same particular opponent, they had 85 and 76. So we are picking the biggest among these two, which is 85. So this method is for predicting under. So we're having 330. So now 330 divided by 3. Don't forget we got the all this data from 3 dimension. Now we are having 110. And currently, don't forget I told you guys that by adding up two by adding up the first half together, like multiplying it by 2, we are getting 114. But prediction that we're having, the average point that we're having here as our prediction, we're having 110. So there's probability that they play under 114 in this particular game. But if I want to predict my under, I always try to add up, you know, my own personal figures. I can decide to add 5, add 2, add 10, depending on how I want it. Now if the bookmakers are providing under 120 in this particular game, or providing under 115, under 116, but I won't like to go for under 115 because it's very close to multiplying their current first half total points into 2. Now if I want to go for this particular under, I would like to add up maybe probably like 7 points or 8 points or 10 points to it. So by adding 10 points, I'm going to be getting under 120. Now let us check if the bookmakers are going to provide it, but I don't think there's any match that is currently going on. Apart from this particular match, there's nothing. I don't think all these bookmakers will provide markets for this type of games. Unfortunately, the bookmakers are not providing the this particular game here. Sportsbet are not having it. So, but I think let us check better. No, maybe probably they will be having it in their live games. Guys, sorry this is taking a long time because I just actually updated my beta right now. But unfortunately, again, the game, this is the current game that we are currently using as an example. They are currently not providing it in this same particular bet platform. But naturally, if you guys want to predict your live games betting, please don't make it like don't make your time of prediction be as much as this, because this current one that I'm doing is because I'm teaching you guys. Because if I want to make my quick decision, is there's nothing like I'll be telling me anybody that it's okay, let's go for this. I will just have to make a quick decision on it and just pam, I'm done. So within just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, you should be done with the analysis of your live games prediction of either who to win the game or under or over. So within that short period of time, you should be done with that. But at most, when doing the analysis on live betting, it should not be more than just 6 or 5 minutes, because of the break that they usually give them for basketball is not really that much compared to that of football, whereby they are giving them like 15 minutes like that. So now guys, thanks for watching guys. Please, if you have any question, please, I'm begging you, drop it in the comment section so that I can ask any of your questions. Please don't make a mistake, and if you have been watching the video from the beginning to the end, so congratulations on this particular new strategy to your case. So thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.